All right, guys, what's happening? What is happening? Happy Saturday to you all. Hope you guys are all having a good Saturday. And yes, you guys can see to my left here, our guest is here. Y'all show your love, fellow Capcom creator, anime fan, Monster Hunter fanatic, good friend. There's a whole bunch of other ways I could describe her, but it honestly would exceed the runtime of the podcast. But anyway, y'all show your love for Miss Seiryu Bomb, everybody.
Hello, my name is Seiryu. I am an Azure Dragon VTuber. I'm a Capcom creator as well, as Eisman mentioned earlier. But yeah, I'm a variety streamer. But I started playing Monster Hunter first. After some time, I started experimenting with other games and just broadening the games that I play, because I used to only play Monster Hunter. But that's really just how I got into Capcom creators, and I really enjoyed their Exoprimal title.
Yes. All right. So with all that said, you probably already know. The question I'm going to ask you first is, how did you get your name? Though I have a pretty good idea, but go ahead. The floor is yours.
Okay, so Seiryu Bomb, right? Like the username?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Seiryu just honestly came from one of my husband's friends.
Really?
Yeah, so his name is also Seiryu on PlayStation. And I was like, well, that's a pretty neat name. And I already really liked Eastern Dragons. So I was like, you know what? Sure. Prior to just it being Seiryu Bomb, right? I had a different account, but it was under my dad. My dad made that account. I wanted my own. So
okay.
Seiryu, and then I was a really big fan of Hasbin. Was it Hasbin Hotel? Has that character? Yeah, so they have a character called Cherry Bomb there, and I really liked that she was very like peppy, explosions everywhere. So I'm like, okay, Seiryu Bomb, that makes sense. And it just became that. It just became Seiryu Bomb. That was my PlayStation name, and I just made my Twitch name that, and I just went by that for a while.
That's what's up.
Still.
That's what's up. By any chance, do you like to voice act?
I haven't voice acted, but many people have told me that I should.
You honestly have the voice for it. Which, for those that don't know, Seiryu is Japanese for people. It's a common term for people who are voice actors in anime in Japan. That's what Seiryu means. But
I think it's Seiyu. Seiyu.
Is it Seiyu? It's Seiyu. Sorry, I get the word. I get that mixed. See, I don't know anything. I'm a dumbass. Okay. I should be talking to myself like that.
You're fine.
So like as we're both Capcom creators, you said your favorite franchise is Monster Hunter. What has what kind of drew you into Monster Hunter? Or
So this is a good question. So this was very all right, so I had a friend, right? Actually, my ex at this point, right? He used to play it a lot and would tell me about it. And I was already eyeballing it before, so I really wanted to get into it. But prior to that, my very first encounter was actually my dad had recently gotten a Wii, and with the Wii you would get some demo discs with them, and one of the demo discs was three try, and my dad actually played it before I did, but he dropped it because he didn't know how to fight the monsters, which I understand that. But him playing it made me really want to play it. and then my ex was into it, so I got the game on the 3DS. And how that happened is I was trading in an older 3DS for the new Nintendo 3DS. And they were asking me, oh, do you want any games with it or anything like that? My dad's like, you know what, go ahead. And I just picked up Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. And that was the first Monster Hunter game that I played.
Nice. And then, so you pretty much been on Monster Hunter since then. Sari, as people can tell, you are a VTuber. Were you always a VTuber when you started, or did you have like a face cam thing? Or
I never did face cam. I started out streaming on my PlayStation. It was very, very small. But I discovered VTubers a bit after I just started streaming for, so my friends could look at the game that I was playing. And yeah, it started off with Monster Hunter World. I was just trying to get one of my friends to look at what Monster Hunter World was like, and then I got him into it. And then I discovered what VTubers were, and I decided, you know what? Sure, let's try this out, right? But I didn't have the equipment. So my mother-in-law, she actually got me a computer after I told her everything. She's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll support you on this.
Oh, that's awesome.
She got me a computer. It was so kind of her.
Hey, when you have family supporting you in your content creator thing, which is a pretty rare thing these days, but when you have family supporting you, that's extra good right there. I've always wanted to, kind of sort of wanted to ask you this. So for those that don't know, whenever you go on Say's channel, her viewers have a redemption where they can like throw things at people, or whenever someone raids her, that she gets a bunch of things thrown at her. Was that you? Was that your idea, Say, or did someone in the community kind of influence that?
Oh, so it was mainly just an influence because that particular software was very, very popular when it came out. People really liked the whole the fact that you can throw things at people, right? Usually regular streamers with face cams, they don't have something like that. So that was like groundbreaking when it came out. They're like, ooh, VTubers, you can throw things at them? Wow, we can take the bully to a next level, you know what I mean? But yeah, about almost every single VTuber has it. There's some that don't, right? Which I understand because it can take away from the stream. That's pretty much it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's what's up. Do you work out a lot based on your VTuber model?
I used to actually be more fit than I am right now. But I got married and a lot of things changed in my life, and I find myself more inside and just taking care of my husband and doing stream and all that stuff, and just honestly I feel like I lay around more than I used to.
That's understandable.
But my model used to not have abs before, right? Like that, she wasn't supposed to have abs.
Wow, I didn't know that.
One of my mods. Yeah, one of my mods, she's like, just add abs, just do it. I'm like, you know what? Sure, I'll humor you, and it stuck. It's still true to how I was before, but as time goes on, things change, and I've been trying to get back on track to be how I look, like I used to look before. But I've been pretty content with how I look now, so I'm happy about that.
Hey,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, that's the most important thing, is that you're happy being you. That's the most important thing right there.
Yeah, and I'm not unhealthy and I'm not overweight, but I just don't have abs, like defined abs anymore, anything like that. That's pretty much it. I did say, right, I did tell my community that I did want to cosplay eventually, because, that'd be so sick,
That would be.
So epic. Yeah, so
cosplay,
cosplay myself.
I can see you. Yeah, like cosplay, like this would be not like a VTuber, but like IRL cosplay.
Yeah.
Okay. that honestly, I would be interested to see real life say cosplaying. I would be interested to see that.
By the time that I'm able to do this, because I'm hoping to do this, I don't know, like in the next 5 years. Hoping.
5 years.
I do want to get back into shape, so it's more accurate than me just being the way that I am right now.
You know, stay on that kind of subject here. Unfortunately, there's a trend in TikTok, you know, IG these days. There are people that body shame. Like, I'm sure if you've seen people like Joey Swole, or there's another guy that I follow on social media, that criticizes gym bullies for like, let's say, someone's doing something they haven't done before and they put their camera and make fun of them. So there was one in particular that where there were three young boys that were making fun of an elderly person for just walking on the treadmill.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
that's so frustrating.
Yeah.
That's so frustrating. Honestly, I'm not a fan of people taking videos in the gym like that, because a lot of them end up posting it online, and it's just terrible. You have this whole culture of women just taking videos of themselves and being upset with other people for walking in front of them. Like, yo, it's a public gym. If you wanted to maybe video yourself, do it at home, okay?
Exactly.
Or maybe at a time where there's not a lot of people around, but they shouldn't be upset about people walking in front of them, especially since it's a public space and all the equipment is shared.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen that video in particular, but it's honestly a little devastating, right? Because so I don't think the young people should be making fun of those that are actually taking the time out of their day to actually go and exercise, because doing that is already a lot.
Exactly.
Like deciding in your brain, hey, I don't want to live like this anymore. I wanna do better with my life. And you actually go to the gym and you try to do your absolute best. No one should be ridiculing you for that. No one.
And nobody, exactly. And those same people that talk about these obese people shouldn't be we shouldn't be embracing body positivity, that will embrace the obesity. Dude, they're out there doing a lot more than what you'll ever do in a lifetime. So why criticize them? If anything, you should be criticizing yourself for that, because they're out there trying to make better of themselves while you sit behind a computer not doing shit. Pardon my language, but it just gets me all fired up. But anyway.
I'm passionate about the topic, and
I'm very passionate about this, because I used to be like that. Like, believe it or not, I used to be a lot heavier than what I used to be. A lot. I don't want to say heavy, but I used to be a lot fatter than what I am today. I used to be like I used to be almost over 30%, 35% body fat. And I would just gorge on Oreos and stuff. I used to be like that, and then it got to the point where I wasn't happy with myself. I realized that I wasn't as healthy. Like, I was tired too easily. I just didn't want to live like this anymore. So, long story short, if you want to work out, better your life and anything, do it. Just do it. Yes. And part of my language again, but who gives a fuck what these losers think? At the end of it, that's why they're losers, because they're not willing to put in the work that you're willing to put in, and they want to bring you down to their level to make themselves feel better. I know this sounds cliched, but that's why they're called losers, because they want to bring winners, like good people that put in the work, that put in the time, and bring them down to their level. That's all they're good at. That's the only thing they're good at.
It really
you guys are better. You guys are better than that. Oh, one of our guests has a question for you, Say. Enigma asks, and before we ask the question, there's a channel point redemption. Only costs 10 ice cubes. If you want to ask our guest a question, you can use that to redeem and ask. He asked, what are your hobbies outside of gaming?
Well, okay, so I draw, right? I used to be really big into art, mainly just stuff like line art. And coloring's not my forte just yet, but I'm working on that. But I did go some time without drawing. Some things happened in my life and I just kind of avoided it for a little bit. But I don't want to lose the skill. So I actually yesterday, right, I bought a notebook, like a new sketchbook, because the current sketchbook that I have is full of notes. I just started using it as notes to keep myself organized before I got actual sticky pads, sticky notes, you know? And I also bought myself new line art markers, as well as what is that other thing? Oh my gosh, it's a kneaded eraser. Yeah, kneaded eraser for line art purposes. And yeah, I'm gonna be trying to do more traditional stuff. I also have a tablet here that I don't use as much as I should, but that's just solely because I use my computer as for work purposes. So if I'm not streaming or filling out some kind of government form, I mostly just don't get on a computer. But that recently changed when Power World dropped. I've been obsessed with Power World.
Yo, that game is so addicting. I cannot tell you how many hours I've put into it. Like, speaking of Power World, I guess we could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
What is the best PAL you've caught? What is the best PAL you've caught so far? I gotta know.
Ooh.
Oh, you can just say. Oh, okay. What level are you?
So, in my own world, I'm 19, I think. I'm very close to 20. I don't have that much, but I know that Tom Bat is a very good worker, and I like him a lot. But in terms of a pal to just take with me, the Chillin is doing work.
Oh, yo.
Yeah.
When I first got Chillin, I mean, look how cute it looks. Like, how can you deny the Chillin? That's like,
it's adorable.
I know. That's like, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna say it figuratively. If you don't feel for Chillin, you don't have a heart. I'm sorry. I gotta say that. Chillin is one of my favorite. Crazy Wolf, you too. See, Crazy Wolf understands. Yes.
Crazy Wolf gets it.
Yes. Is it the boss Chillin or is it like the regular size one?
It's the boss Chillin.
That's the way to go. That is the way to go. That has been one of my favorites. Another favorite of mine is I forget the name, but it looks like a Cobra Lion from Pokemon. I think it's called Fangalope. I could be wrong on this one.
Oh, the Cobalion one. Okay.
Cobalion, yeah.
I think it is Fanglope.
That has been that one's been another favorite of mine.
Doesn't it have a double jump?
Does it? Oh,
I saw something about a double jump.
I've never heard of it having a double jump. I could be wrong on that though.
Yeah, I could be wrong too.
Yeah, I just got it yesterday, and it is so good. Let me tell you. Yes, I'm gonna say it because I gotta be honest. Better than Pokemon game.
100%.
I'm sorry, but Pokemon has not been good these last few generations. And Power World did what Pokemon should have done in the past, I don't know, decade.
Power World did what the people wanted.
Yes, exactly. And it did it, and it already sold like 8 million on 20 years ish. Yeah.
On Steam as well. Those are Steam numbers. That's not even Game Pass.
That's not even Steam. Yes. Also, I read a report that the morale in Game Freak is very low right now, even before all this Palworld stuff. The morale there is very low, and you can see it. And Scarlet and Violet. Now, granted, it was a good game, but look at all the technical issues that plagued it, and still plague it to this day. And even with the DLs.
How dim the colors look, because if you go back to the pixel versions of Pokemon, they were very bright in color, and then they moved on to the 3D models, and they dimmed it. And they didn't fix that, and everyone's been telling them about it.
It's funny. If those that are about my age, you guys remember the Pokemon Stadium games on the N64? The 3D models on that. Now, kid, this Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2, these are probably 20-year-old games by now. Yeah. The 3D models on that look and animate better than Scarlet and Violet. Mm-hmm. That alone tells you something.
I was like 4 years old when that came out.
One more thing about legendaries. Yes, and it brings up a good point. It should be 4 max legendaries per game, not get the 4, then get the rest for the previous games. Yeah, they did go a bit overboard with the legendaries, though but on the other side, it also makes sense because like there is no way to link, like it'd be impossible because with how far back you'd have to go, and just like the whole logistics behind it, it would be impossible. So while the legendary is a bit much, it makes sense also.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pokemon,
the transfers from one game to the other, and it got a little too much. And then they made Pokemon Bank, and I'm like, I see how they're streamlining it. I get it. But now they're making a lot of the previous games inaccessible to everything, especially since they're getting rid of the Wi-Fi. Like the 3DS and the Wii U, they're not gonna have Wi-Fi services soon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're shutting down in April, I believe.
Yup.
Enigma sent a message that he wanted to tell you. He wanted me to read out to you. As a writer, it might be different, but never give up if you enjoy it. If it's your dream, then always push through as much as it hurts. Don't let yourself down.
You're absolutely right. This is honestly, I've had to keep pushing myself to try to draw and remember all the techniques that I've learned. But before I became a VTuber, before I even got married or even moved out of Puerto Rico, so I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I remember talking to my mom about wanting to be an artist and telling her that I wanted to go into the it wasn't graphic design, it was graphic arts field, which can branch out into video game development. And she wasn't really on board. The only school that actually gave that was like an hour or two away, which I was willing to go over there, like drive over there to do that. Cause like, the span between one side of the island to the other side of the island is like 3.5 hours, something like that. So it wasn't, to me, it's not that far, But my mom thought it was a little too far. And she said, you're not going there. You're gonna go closer. But the closest place didn't have graphic arts. They had graphic design. And then they started discouraging me about it and said, why don't you go into something else more profitable? And that kind of stung. You know what I mean? It kind of stung. For the longest time, my mom wouldn't look at my stuff, and like I would try to show her my art, and she would just dismiss me and tell me, oh no, I'm watching my show, come back later. But never came. So I just stopped showing her anything. But now that I've moved several thousand, however miles it is away from her, she calls me every now and then and tells me, oh, do you still draw? Don't lose that talent. And while it kind of feels backhanded, it kind of stings a little bit. After I remember myself that she is right. She is right that I shouldn't just let it go to waste. And the things that she may have said in the past that still are, they're still here. They still came with me. It shouldn't really influence what I do now, especially since I'm my own person,
Exactly. Enigma says, wish I had the support from my parents. Honestly, my mom is the opposite and kept shutting me down. It wasn't until I got with my partner and had my daughter, I've been able to get back into writing, and it really does. Enigma. It sucks. I know.
Yeah.
But hey, at least you found someone that sees you for your worth, that sees you and that loves you, and it motivates you. So hey man, all I can just say is it hurts. I know it sucks, but hey man, it sounds like like things are going better for yourself right now. So just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to more happy terms. Happy terms here.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to know. I'm sure some of y'all are aware of this. As you guys know, there was a little controversy involving Capcom a short while back that seems to have, I want to say, has died down, kind of, sort of. And it's their anti kind of sort of the statement on mods and the DRM.
Mm-hmm.
So basically they don't want, because a certain I believe it was a VTuber, I could be wrong, was using basically NSFW mods for one of their Capcom games. They wanted to crack down on that, and a lot of people in the community were in an uproar about it. So, what did you think? Did you think were you kind of on the side where you were like, okay, Capcom kind of sort of has a point with what they're what they want to do, or were you kind of more on the side was like maybe everyone's kind of like overreacting to it?
Oh, it's certainly an overreaction, honestly. So everything that I've seen and done research about, right? It's a lot of it stems from Twitter, and Twitter likes to over exaggerate and make things up because they're mad, and that's exactly what it was. It wasn't a VTuber that started all this. Basically, a particular account on Twitter, which is meant to be for PC news. They're also for what is it? It's pirating games and all that jazz. I don't know. They lost all credibility with the whole bio to me. But practically, they were saying, Capcom's adding these DRMs, and what a DRM is a oh my gosh, it's a little software that they implement into games in order to prevent piracy and
hacking,
prevent mods and cheats. And that's what it's mainly for. Now, there's a lot of people in the modding community that hate these DRMs because they have to go around them. And in classic Twitter fashion, right, they decided to fearmonger a little bit. They presented some evidence that wasn't truly any evidence at all, because the supposed game that they scanned wasn't even a Capcom game to begin with. It was some game called GameServer.exe, which Capcom doesn't have that. I'm thinking I got the free trial of the DRM in question and put it into some kind of throwaway software to see how many things it would trigger and then scare people with it. So if you guys don't know how DRMs work, right, in order for them to know if you're using mods or not, they have to snoop through your files. That's what it's meant to do. It snoops through your files and then may or may not report back to a server. And because of this, it does act like malware and will set off malware triggers, which is what the website they used is for. It tells you if it has malware in it. So if you're going to put a DRM in there, it's kind of going to trigger it, So yeah, that kind of went over people's heads. A lot of people didn't do research about that, and then everything spread and more other things got said. Like apparently, oh no, like the games that have the DRM in it, they don't work on the Steam Deck anymore. But there's no evidence about that. None whatsoever. It's just word of mouth stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about that. I agree with Say on that one. I thought people were just overreacting to it. Honestly, like there really was no concrete evidence, even from what I did my own research on it and found really nothing. So I just it was just pretty much a giant overreaction and everything.
People also wanted to say that this was Capcom's response to all the modding going around, because recently they've been taking down some videos, even from Capcom creators that have mods in them, and saying that that's part of it, and saying that the Chun-Li, the new thing that happened on that tournament.
Yeah.
And then Capcom issued a statement around that time saying that mods can be a bad representation of what the game truly is, not only to regular people, but also to investors. You know, so I totally see if they would say, yeah, we don't want any mods anymore, because you want your product to be seen in a good light.
Exactly.
Not whatever degeneracy people want to add, you know? But on top of that, what if I told you that all those things weren't related to the reason they put the DRM in it?
Oh.
Right? So Capcom games have a different DRM than the one that people are freaking out about, called De Nouveau. All right. So De Nouveau is the one they usually have in their games before a certain time period. You know, after their game reaches a certain lifespan, they get rid of it. So because this specific DRM costs a lot, right? You would still want your game to be protected, so they got another one. And the DRM in question is the Enigma Protector. And it costs less. There's a trial version of it up to. I did say that earlier.
Yeah.
But people are freaking out about it because they're saying, oh no, it's this and that. But they've been doing this for a while with different games already. So this whole thing of the overreaction is because someone mentioned it. Capcom had already been doing this for a while. They've been changing out the De Nouveau for a cheaper DRM for a while now. So it was fine. Literally everything was fine until someone said something and it got out of control. You know what I mean? Someone literally overstepped everything. Yeah, people just like to be upset.
People just like to be upset.
Where there's not a lot of problems for people. Yeah. You know, people kind of want that strife and they make stuff up. They make stuff up just to be mad. They like that feeling. I don't know why. I don't understand.
They just want to find something to be upset about. That's pretty much all there is. Yes.
Yeah. So it really just seems like normal company procedure for games and all that jazz. And people are blowing it out of proportion because they can't mod, because they still mod. I mean, even with the Enigma Protector installed, it was cracked within the week. So
exactly.
What is there to be upset about if you can still use your mods?
Yeah, you know? Exactly. Wow. That was something I actually did not know about.
Yeah.
No, not that last part, but when you said that it wasn't even related to Capcom in the first place. So
people thought, oh no, you know, Capcom saying that they don't like mods because it's a bad representation. I'm like, yeah, no company wants bad representation.
Yeah, I mean,
who does?
Exactly. I mean, look at Nintendo.
Yeah, like
Nintendo
that's the first spot for me. They're very hardcore about you.
They're very hardcore.
They don't like that.
Yeah. Albeit, I will say, although Nintendo can be a bit overprotective, but I understand why Nintendo is why they are with their intellectual properties, because it could be bad press. That, you know, the dude mod with Chun-Li, I mean, granted, it should not have been on there. There should have been a way to kind of sort of that's kind of like an oopsie moment there.
That was an oopsie moment. Literally, oopsie moment from the staff.
Yeah, I was like, how did that go through? That's like, I don't know if y'all remember, there was. So you know how US is like kind of like a state of a union thing. kind of sort of. That was going on in like I think it was in Japan or some other country, and then there was like a nude like sexting that popped up in with Tifa and something Final Fantasy during that. I don't know if y'all heard of that, but oh man,
Yeah,
I'm like.
It was some kind of thing they were trying to do. It was wasn't it streamed or something? And then
I don't remember.
Yeah, they hacked them. They hacked
Italian
them.
Congress. Yeah. I was like,
The Italian Congress.
the Congress. How did I was like, how do you let something like this happen in Congress? How do you?
Weren't they doing it through a Zoom call? It's not protected.
Yeah, I'm like, someone in their IT security dropped the ball there.
They're gonna learn.
Oh man.
All through Zoom.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying.
It was someone hacked in. And they started playing all that, right? And it was visible to everyone. Someone that wasn't supposed to be in there, they got a hold of the information, the password, the link, all of it. That was wild.
That was pretty wild. Someone forgot the extra tab.
Was it?
Really?
Oh, what? What?
Wait.
That's what I heard.
That's what I thought too. Someone forgot the extra. Oh, that's even worse.
Who was it?
And it was someone working within their. Wow.
I guess I should have story, sir. You might have. I must have forgotten. But I knew it happened.
That's true, that's crazy. That is wow.
Or I'm thinking of someone else. I'm not sure anymore. I'm confused.
Oh man. Anyway, whew. That's a good y'all see, now we're back on the happy end now. We got a good laugh there. One more question before we get to the point of the stream where we flip the roles. As I always ask every one of my guests, if there's someone out, like, you know, someone is thinking of getting into stream, that wants to get into content creating, VTubing, whatnot. If there's one piece of advice you have to give this to that person, to someone out there that wants to get into content creating, that wants to get into stream, VTubing, what would you tell them?
I have a lot of pieces of advice because they all go together, honestly. But be consistent. Don't put your eggs all in one basket. And what I mean by that is don't just stream on Twitch and then expect growth that way. You have to post stuff elsewhere. And I kind of, I did post some stuff elsewhere. However, life has been getting in the way with a lot of the things, and things have been sort of stressful, and I end up just like sitting back and taking my time, and I haven't edited much recently, so I kind of do this too. But basically, you're gonna want to post about yourself everywhere, like be on every single platform, be consistent on your streaming or consistent on video creation, because consistency is the key to all of this. And people are more, what's the word, when things are very disorderly, right? People are when things are done last minute, you know, you can't really guarantee that people are going to be there, right? Because they're not going to drop what they're doing for
exactly
just to see what you're doing, you know. And I've gathered that, you know, sometimes there's instances, because I've started doing something where I show my schedule to my Discord server, but I don't tell them a time, right? Because I've realized that, for me at least, having ADHD, setting a time before everything stresses me out so hard, so much. and it bothers me a lot. So I've been trying to do a timeless schedule, and then I'll tell them about it either an hour or more before that. And it's not supposed to be permanent, it's supposed to be temporary. But yeah, try to be as consistent as possible. And in terms of VTubing, right? Because the other advice was pretty an general thing. But when it comes to VTubing, you want to become a VTuber, don't buy a model outright. Please make sure you enjoy streaming or content creation in general, because a model can become very, 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 very expensive, like super expensive, especially with the rising prices of things. I was able to get both of my models at around 1,200 or 1,500, which is a lot of money, honestly.
Oh yeah,
it's a lot of money. That combined with all the other gear for streaming, such as microphone, lights, cameras, an iPhone if you decide to go with the iPhone face tracking, software, like purchasing software, downloading more space, not downloading more space, buying more space, right? On top of any other gear that you may need, it's a lot of money,
Oh yeah.
It's a ton. Yeah.
I know. With your imagine having a model like you like the model you're having. I know Kimmy, who also does V2, who also has the V2 model. I can imagine that is a lot of money to invest in it. I can just it's almost like if you think about it, it's almost kind of like cosplaying in a way. Kinda, but virtual. Because cosplay can be
time to make models. It really does, especially because I've seen people create the 3D models, right, like mine, and I've also seen people create 2D models, and the 2D models are so intricate with all the features that it has and all that stuff. But usually the prices that I mentioned are pretty cheap. They're on the cheaper end compared to what they can be and what I've seen them be. Like, so if you think that 1,500 is a lot, wait until you see the $3,000 to $5,000 models.
I've seen a couple of those.
Wild. Yeah.
Woo, let me tell you.
And they're really good. They cost that much for a reason,
Like they can do a lot of things that they can even do all these motions and everything that I'm demonstrating on the camera.
But yeah, there's some 2D VTubers that have hand tracking. That's a whole nother field, Not many people can do that and set that up. From what I've seen, right? 3D, you're more able to get the hand tracking, because these types of models are meant for not only VTubing, but you can also convert them into VR chat models, which are also pretty expensive.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I did forget to mention, right? The hand tracking, the little device that I'm using costs $100-something. But there's a V2 version now, which costs around the same. So I'm hoping to upgrade. But it is a lot of money. This is honestly a hobby first, and then you can make it a job later on. But definitely don't quit your day job if you're wanting to do VTubing, because it may or may not pay for itself.
That is the best advice you can give, in my opinion.
Yeah. As someone that doesn't have a job solely because I take care of my husband, I'm his full-time caretaker. I got to do this because I got a lot of support around me, and that's really how it started. But the thing that I've seen a lot of people do on Twitter, right, because I've talked about this on Twitter, is that they either want to make this their full time, but they can't because the money won't be there, or they start this out when they're very young, and then they realize that they just kind of can't, you just kind of can't do it, so they stop. So that is my, I guess, the number one advice. Make sure that you're in a good position in terms of content creation before you decide to just get rid of your main job with consistent income, you know, because streaming is not consistent. Content creation is not consistent. Changes
Exactly.
in the meta and everything that's going on can happen, and you could fall at any moment.
Exactly.
That's pretty
Just
much
like
also, you know how you work for like 8 hours a day or possibly a little bit more, and it's consistent cash. Streaming content creation is a 24/7 thing. Like you could be sleeping and still thinking about what to do for stream.
Exactly. Yeah, and and on that same subject, there are some people that work from home. I mean, when I was working from home, you could even turn your actual full-time job into content as well. So something to think about. Something I used to do. So, and I've met a lot of people who are, I don't know if you guys occasionally post why I work at. I actually kind of working for my mom at the moment while I find another job. She has an adult daycare. So for those that don't know what an adult daycare is it's basically like a place to help those that are disabled, those that are disabled and all that, help take care of while the caregivers are either working or that kind of thing. And I actually went to one of their houses just to see what it's like, what it's like, to have and take care of the client that they submit to us. And let me tell you something, it's like they never have time for themselves. They always because they have to look out, they have to take care of the person who they gotta caregiver for. It's like 24/7, Yeah. It's honestly bless their hearts. I'm being very honest here.
It's definitely hard to balance it too, because I take care of my hubby, and top of that I do streaming, and I take care of the house, and I'm also trying to take care of all like the government forms and stuff. I am gonna teach him though, because he didn't know any of that. And, I had to teach myself too, once I got married and all that. But yeah, I'd say this is definitely a learning experience for me. I did get lucky, right? Because while I do give this advice about, make sure you're steady in your whole content creation before you just quit your day job and stuff, and I didn't have one, so it's like kind of dangerous to do this. But I was lucky in the sense that I have support around me. I can fall back on like what my husband makes, and on top of that, right, because like what I make is mainly just help on top of what he gets, you know what I mean? And I do want to get to the point where I'm the one that provides all this stuff, and then we don't have to worry about that much. It's really what the goal, the long-term goal is. It didn't start off that way, but as life keeps progressing, your priorities change,
Exactly. That, you never know what life will throw at you, That's why you just gotta when life throws you a curveball, you just gotta be, you just gotta be kind of sort of ready, as ready for it as you can be, and just know how to go along, just go along with it, when and if it happens. So now it is that time of the stream where she now is the host, I'm now the guest, and while we were prepping, I said you can ask me one question. So it is time. The floor is yours.
I am the captain now.
Yes, you are the captain of the ship now.
Alright, so my question is, and I don't know if you've gotten this before, but what made you get into streaming games as an older gentleman?
Ooh, you are actually the first person to ever ask me that.
Oh.
You are the first. And this is something that I've never actually really explained to anybody. So everyone that's in the chat and everything, you guys are gonna hear this first. So what got me into streaming games, as someone who is pretty much pushing 40 at this point, there actually were a couple of people that I watched that I kind of like looked up to for inspiration before I started streaming. One such person is Maximilian dude. He streams a lot of fighting game content, like Tekken, Street Fighter, and all that.
Yeah.
And I think he's about my age. But the thing was, he's been doing it for years. And so he was someone that I would always watch his content, how he interacts with his chat and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, at his age, he's still able to be successful in content creating and everything. All this while having a kid, whilst raising and all that, raising a kid and all that. That's something that inspired me. So I thought, and me being at my age, I mean, I have no kids or anything, but granted, but I felt like, if someone to be at his age can be successful in content creating, then I can do it too at my age. As a matter of fact, I started when I was 35. I'm just gonna say that right now. Even a lot of things in life, I didn't start till I was older. I didn't go to college until I didn't go to college for I went to college, with my first degree at normal time, but I wasn't really happy. I didn't know what I wanted in life until I was about 27, 28. And that was to be an accountant, working in accounting, finance. That was my dream. That was my dream field. So I went back to school finished my bachelor's, got my master's, at 32, 33 years old, and I'm 35, going to be 38 rather, going to be 39 in April. And I can't say enough that this is the happiest I've been ever. I mean, if I had a job right now, I'd be the happiest I've ever been. But that's beside the point. But if someone could be very successful despite their age, and age is nothing but a number, in my personal opinion, when it comes to content creating and lots of things, fitness and everything. If people who got started at 30s, 40s can build a community and everything, what's holding me back? Why can't I do it?
Yeah, you're right about that.
As a matter of fact, there's actually I actually saw a Discord partner who I think is over 80. I mean, not Discord.
Oh my.
I said Discord. Twitch partner that's 80. Oh. It's over 80 years old. Yes. I don't remember the person's name, but she became a Twitch partner, 80 years old. That was probably one of my biggest. That is one of my biggest sources of inspiration right there. That inspired me. That I could build a community, and I could do something on this platform despite how society thinks people my age should be or should do on everything, or that the whole bullshit that you're too old to be doing this and everything. I mean, look at me. Look at what I've accomplished in such a short time. I've only been doing this. It'll be 4 years in April that I've been on this platform. I've been creating content. Look, I'm almost at 2,000 followers. Eight followers away. I got into the Capcom Creators Program. I've been affiliated by 3 companies. I've collaborated with a lot of bigger content creators. Well, big content in the small streamer stream, but you guys get the point.
I get to. It's progress. And it's
Exactly. I've been honestly. This is as far as content critic is concerned. This is the happiest and most satisfied I've been with my content creating. I mean, look, I've done a podcast. I'm even doing a podcast. This is the third year. That's why season 3. This is the third year I've done my own podcast. And look how great it's become.
Yeah.
I'm pushing 40 here, but yeah, I still feel young. It's all about what's in here and what's in here. Absolutely. That's what pushes me. I hope I answered your question, Say.
You did. That's awesome. That was awesome to hear. It reminds me of my inspiration too, which is Iron Mouse. Iron Mouse.
Oh yes.
She has my gosh. She has this illness. Yeah, I think it's something to do with her immune system, right? But I remember her talking about it, how she wanted to be an opera singer, but then her health took a turn for the worst, and she couldn't do that, right? Because it affected her voice and her stamina. She's not able to do that. But instead of being all sad about it, she just said, I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna do something else. And now she's the biggest VTuber on the planet, I'd say. Not only
that, she's an award-winning VTuber. I don't know she, for those that don't know, she won the Game Award for best streamer, I believe.
She did. And that was a momentous occasion, for all sorts of people with disabilities, and especially Puerto Ricans, right? Because I felt so proud. Honestly, Puerto Rico's forgotten about a lot. So hearing her that she won, right, and that she was up there, it just made me so happy. I actually got to sort of meet her at a convention. I didn't go myself, but my manager took me on a little device, and
I didn't know you had a manager.
Iron Mouse meet and greet. Oh yeah, I do. He's very sweet. But he did that for me. He took me on a little, I think it was a tablet he took me on, and I had my model on there, but she couldn't hear me, but he tried to convey everything that I was saying to her, and I was able to hear her. She was so awe-inspiring. She told me to keep going. She told me she was proud of me, and I cried that day so much. Honestly, I'm crying now.
Oh man.
But yeah,
incredible.
She's great.
Incredible.
If I could meet her, right, and personally go to a convention and see, I mean, I know she'd be on a monitor, right, because she can't leave her home. That would be amazing. That would make my year. That would be like a VTuber's dream right there.
Yeah. Not only a VTuber, but as any streamer's any streamer's dream. Ah man.
Oh, surprise question?
Oh, we got a surprise question. Art Enigma. Enigma is asking you, what are your dreams for this year?
So my dreams for this year, to honestly get a better computer. I've been really needing one for a while now, because all sorts of new software for VTubers and games are getting really, really big and really hard to process if you're also streaming it. So I've kind of seen this with Palworld as well as a couple other games, and I can't use my model with them. Can't use my 2D or my 3D because it's too much. It just chugs. So there's that one, and also I want to meet a certain goal with my content creation, which has to do with numbers. I try not to focus on numbers very much because people can get depressed from that.
Yeah,
get stressed out about it. But I do want to see more progress come from me in terms of doing more things, right? So getting myself to actually edit clips of myself or be a bit more stable financially so I can maybe find someone that can potentially make those clips for me and help me out with growth in that fashion. But yeah, that's mainly it. I just wanna expand. That's basically it.
There you go. Admirable goals right there. Admirable goals. Honestly, that's kind of sort of where I'm lining up with my goals too. Is just to expand myself. I'm not even putting a number on my just to grow on YouTube, Twitch. I'm not even putting a number out there. Honestly, just grow. That is my only goal, not only for this year, but for my content creating going forward. I'm not even putting a number on that, honestly. But if I do reach 2,000, then if I do reach 2,000, which I am now 7 followers away from that, then I might pop a little champagne, get drunk. No, I'm kidding. But I do plan on celebrating. And speaking of celebrations, before we spin, you guys are gonna be the first to hear this. Iceman's 4th annual birthday celebration and 4-year Twitch anniversary happening this year, April 21st. My birthday, my 4-year anniversary. Mark your calendars for it. There'll be more details in the coming months, so y'all be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, I think
all right.
It is very easy to remember. It reminded me of something else that I wanted to do, right? Aside from content creation, is to get myself to draw and actually draw consistently again. Because I used to do that a lot, and then I stopped, But that's why I bought the sketchbook and also new materials, right? I wanna entice myself to do it and get myself to properly do it, And that could be something I could post online too, so it works out.
Oh yeah. Exactly. I was before I start to draw. What are your favorite things to draw? Say, if you don't mind me asking.
Also, I used to draw wolves a lot and what would be considered furries, but they weren't furries. They were just anthro characters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I just like drawing animals and humans, of course. But basically, like just OCs of mine. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. That's what's up.
I didn't want to add to an earlier question, right, about hobbies. So aside from drawing, I also do sing here and there.
Oh, you do have the voice for that. You really do. I think I've heard you sing at your streams a few times.
Yeah, especially recently with the Power World streams. I was just listening to music and just sing along with the music.
What kind of music do you listen? What kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. I've been really into I think it's city pop lately. It's just a specific genre of Japanese music. I also like whatever baby metal is.
Baby metal? I have never heard of that.
They're also a Japanese group. But yeah, I like that type of style. My husband's trying to convert me to listen to punk music, like English punk music, because he says I listen to too much Japanese music.
Okay. That is going to do it for this podcast. Again, another big shout out to my fellow Capcom creator and good friend, Miss Sari, you bomb everybody. And make sure y'all go leave her a follow as well.
Happy to be here.
We are happy to have you two here. And with all that said, that is gonna do it. Y'all take care, everybody. Y'all stay icy, my friends. And we will see you guys next time. Much love, everybody.
Bye. Take care.